realised that I should spend more time doing writing. Certainly when books took off, I had to make a decision, and I decided to do that and left the previous job, which I enjoyed very much, but it was quite a pleasant change, I think. Well, I was very much out of touch with Zimbabwe, and I'd worked in Botswana and lived in Botswana later on, and it was a country that I just wanted to write about, and I was going there every year, so I decided to set it there. Well, I think that writers always have to try to imagine what the subjective experience of other people is, and that means that male writers have to imagine what it is to be a woman, and indeed women writers have to imagine what it is to be a man. So it's an act of imagination. Well, I think that she's been very popular, largely because I think she's a rather kind character, and I think people rather like kindness. So I think that is a quality that she has which appeals to people, and they want to spend time in her company. I think detective fiction is a useful genre in that it allows you to say a lot about a particular society and a particular place, because obviously all sorts of different people can come into the little detective agency that Nora Malmsbury has, and therefore you can tell the story of the country through that way. Well, that wasn't done by me. I was shown the scripts. The scripts were written by screenwriters, and I think they did a very good adaptation. The adaptation was very successful, very sympathetic, and they didn't change too much, which is important. I play the bassoon extremely badly. Worse than you've ever heard anybody play the bassoon. I like boats. In the West, round about the Sound of Mull. I'm writing volume 9 of the Isabel Dalhousie series and volume 8 of the Scotland Street series. So.
Well, that leads us neatly on to a little bit of reading from one of the Scotland Street books.
They went downstairs. The farmer's wife had laid 2 cups on the kitchen table, alongside a plate of scones. 2 glasses stood beside the cups, and at their side was a large bottle of orange-coloured liquid. "Oh, good," said Andy. "Iron brew, Bertie." Bertie was puzzled. "Iron what?" Andy looked at him in astonishment. "Don't you know what iron brew is?" Bertie shook his head. "We don't have things like that," he said. "Iron brew's ready, good for you," said Andy, reaching for the bottle. "I'll pour you a glass, you'll see." Bertie looked at his father. Stuart smiled. "Try it, Bertie. I think you'll like it." Andy poured a glass of the fizzy orange liquid and passed it to Bertie. "It's made of girders, Bertie. It makes you really strong." Bertie took a sip, swallowing tentatively, and then gulping the drink down. He'd never tasted anything like this before, and he loved it. Andy filled his glass again. "You can burp if you like, Bertie. You're allowed to burp when you drink iron brew." Bertie burped. "That's good," said Andy, finishing his glass and then burping too. A few minutes later, Andy's father came in. He shook hands with Stuart and listened to the account of their walk through the harbour. "I'll run you back in the Land Rover," he said, "after our tea." Andy looked at his father. "Couldn't Bertie stay the night?" he said. "He could go home tomorrow." "It's up to Bertie's dad," said the farmer. "It's all right with us." Bertie looked anxiously at Stuart, willing him to agree. "Well," said Stuart, "I don't see why not." They all drove in the Land Rover to take Stuart back to the car park at Flotterstone. Then they returned to the farm, and the 2 boys were given a large meal of sandwiches, spaghetti bolognese, custard, iron cream, ice cream, and iron brew. Iron cream. The meal was eaten in quiet contentment. Bertie sat and looked at his new friend, who smiled back at him. They were given half an hour of play before bedtime. Thank you.
Dirty in your own childhood? Or does that not apply?
Many boys are sort of pushed a bit by their mothers, and in fact, thank heavens, because if they didn't, no boys would be able to play the piano. So I think that you do need pushy parents. My parents weren't like Bertie's parents, so there wasn't the same degree of pressure.